Capital Territory is gearing up for the area council elections, and preparations are taking center stage. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it is putting final touches in place to ensure a smooth process, while security agencies and political parties are also making arrangements. Welcome to another episode of Issues, reaching you from NTA Channel 5, Abuja, the Unity Station. I am Tessie Omeri. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now, as preparations intensify ahead of the 2026 Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, stakeholders are assessing the level of readiness from voter education to security arrangements. Attention is now on how prepared the Independent National Electoral Commission and political parties are for the exercise. And to take us through this 25 minutes is the Director General, New Buhari Frontiers. He is Comrade Emeka Kenneth Chima. Comrade, thank you for joining us on Issues.
Thank you so much.
We have seen that you're a grassroots mobilizer. And so from the New Buhari Frontiers, tell us, how are you mobilizing residents, especially at the grassroots, in preparation for the 2026 Area Council elections?
Well, thank you so much. We are highly prepared for mobilization, and I would like to take you through our historical perspective of New Buhari Frontiers. The New Buhari Frontier basically is an assemblage of young patriotic Nigerians who are committed to good governance delivery down to the grassroots. So we are with the grassroots, we are friends to the grassroots, and we live among the grassroots. And one of the critical factors you look about governance delivery, the chain of governance delivery, you can't take away the grassroots because they are the base of the pyramids. So once you are assessing the pyramids from the top, you trickle down. So for you to assess governance delivery, the metrics of impact of good policy, of good governance, it is the grassroots that will tell you through there. And so we live with these people, but for this forthcoming election, we are very, very prepared, as I stated. And so far, so good. There is an ongoing voters registration that is ongoing with the INEC. We are canvassing and at the same time synthesizing across the 10 wards of Buhari Area Council, which is our focus area as we speak. And so far, the turnout has been very impressive. As of today, we are going from door to door, street to street, house to house, and we are trying to convince our populace in the grassroots, telling them the need to participate. Because whether we like it or not, your PVC is the key to good governance, is the key to decide the future of wherever you reside with.
So now, talking about grassroots mobilization, you have mentioned the pyramid, which the base has the highest number, which means that we run things because we are the largest in number. Yet the grassroots are always been shortchanged. Is there any, as a frontiers of youth, is there anything you're looking at so that this grassroots will not be shortchanged in the area of probably dividends of democracy and all that, because we always see it happen?
It's true. Democracy actually is government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which can actually be literally explained as government of majority. They said the minority will always have their say, while the majority will have their way. But in our context in this country is actually the opposite. It's the minority that will have their way, while the majority will have their say. There is a bitter reality.
And how do we intend to change that?
We are coming to that. And the only way we can come to that is actually going back to this largest base of category of the pyramid, which is the base, trying to synthesize them, trying to let them know that you have the numbers. We can come together, we can be united. Whether we like it or not, there are fault lines. And those fault lines is where the few are the elite category try to break this crack continuously. They will bring in ethnicity, they will bring in religious sentiment. And the grassroots who should see beyond these mimics they will still fall for it. And at the end of the day, the grassroots that should be united is not united. Because whether we like it or not, bad governance does not know who is a Christian or who is a Muslim. We go to the market, the price of food does not tell you that you are an Igbo man or you are an Hausa man. Everybody accepts the same standard. If the roads are bad, accident happens, it doesn't segregate whether you are from Birom or you are from Bagino. So it's a wake-up call, and this is also a platform for us to reach out to the grassroots who might be watching us, that we need to unite. Because when we unite, there's power in unity. Through power in unity, you can actually demand for good governance. And certainly it will come. And whenever we are demanding for it, the voice in quotes, we actually amplify because we are united. So for this coming election, we are telling our people at the grassroots, see beyond religion, see beyond ethnicity, see based on merits. And what is the merit? Governance delivery. And that governance delivery don't have nothing to do with religion, because whether we like it or not, you want to accept the corrupt individuals, we have them in the Christianity faith, we have them in Islamic faith. So it goes beyond that. So for now, for us to unite, we must see beyond this major ethnic and religious crack that our elites usually exploit all the time.
Okay, now, what key, issues are you promising residents using this your beautiful platform called Frontiers? Because you have said that the majority they have the power to vote. Or at the end of the day, are you mobilizing them just for the sake of votes, or do you intend to also make sure that they are carried along even after elections? How do you intend to achieve that?
Okay, now what we did was actually we took cognizance of all the political aspirants before they became a candidate, and we did an X-ray. And as people devoid of sentiment, we came to the conclusion that the best person who will actually rewrite the wrongs which we're experiencing right now in Buhari Area Council is in the person of Honorable Audi Shukolo, who is currently the candidate of APC Buhari Area Council election 2026 for chairmanship. So we x-rayed him and we discovered that he is a man that has capacity, and beyond having capacity, a man with compassion and empathy, because we established some needs in the grassroots. And what are the needs? These needs are actually based on, firstly, on security area, because the functions or the rules of an area council is based on three, let's say, put it four cardinal points, which is security, primary healthcare, infrastructure, and education for cardinal points. So we discovered even in the infrastructure, nothing is happening in the area council. It's nothing to write home about. Looked at the education, thank God we are aware the primary school children we are home for over 3 months.
Okay. That was not a peculiar thing to worry, I guess.
It's an efficiency issue, but every how will I put it? There is this exclusive power that lies with even an area council to solve this issue. If peradventure you want to actually exhibit your capacity in governance. So we discovered these cracks are just, how will I put it, the bad governance is actually the order of the day as we speak, in terms of the infrastructure that nothing to look at. Our roads are very bad. You must take your car to the mechanic in every week. It is a red indicator as far as we are concerned. And we discovered the insecurity that happened. Even the current government in power, some of them ran away and left us to our fate. It is we are the grassroots that are the receiving end at the end of the day. So we felt that the only person who can actually correct this abnormality due to his personality happens to be the person of Honorable Shekolo, as I stated earlier on, Aruna Shekolo Audi.
From all indication, you are
mobilizing for him. Yes.
And you have made yourself known. Now that you made yourself known, let's shift attention from the fact that you're mobilizing from grassroots and you have a particular person you're vouching for. What are those key issues you're promising residents of Warrior Council in your group?
First, we are promising in the area of education. Like personally, I'm also the founder of Spring State Foundation. I run an out of school children program. We call it Book on a Light. I think we have discussed that earlier on. So when we spoke to our principal, whom we have adopted, he promised us that he's going to look into that to see how we take out of school children serious. And you can imagine the statistics are not something to write home about in Nigeria as a whole. So, but in Buhari Council, where we'll be having our focus attention, he has promised that he's going to look into that holistically. We have the area of infrastructures. Our roads are too bad and they have been neglected for too long. And that promise has come to stay. Our road will be taken seriously, especially roads, road networking in Buhari. I'm not even talking about other areas like Kubwa that relatively are enjoying the impact of FCDA. But in Buhari metropolis as a center, our roads are zero. The same thing is obtainable in Pape area. When you go, Pape area is part of Buhari area council. What's it called? Duse, completely zero. So when we take the issue of infrastructure, we are promising that from the meeting we had with our principal, that this will be actually addressed as a top priority. And also in the angle of our healthcare, most of the primary health cares are not functional. As we speak to you, they are not functional. And we are also promising the populace, the grassroots, that will make sure we make them optimal in terms of service delivery. So these are key areas. Even the farmers, like today, I think I saw some of your journalists making an interview with farmers, making them top notch. You know, agriculture is the base right now. People going back to see how we exploit the sector of agriculture to ease this hunger that people are complaining about. So these are key areas we will look into.
Okay. Even though I know that campaigns, have not started officially, so I know that issue of candidates for now, I know that will not dwell so much on it. But then you already have a focus, you have a target, and you have a mission, and you want to achieve that mission. So we would like to know, how do you intend to convince these people at the grassroots? Most of them are tired of going back and forth. Like you said, your PVC is like your car. Some of them have this PVC, but they don't even want to use them and all that. So how do you convince these people that are dissatisfied, that are tired of this process to come out? How do you intend to let them know that probably there's light, at the end of the day and all that?
Well, that would be a very challenging issue, but we are doing it already. People are actually tired, to be honest. But the issue is this: you can't be tired forever, except you die. It's when your tiredness will come to an end.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. You will not give up. There's still hope at the end of the tunnel as far as we are concerned. I was trying to tell you about the personality of the candidate we adopt, the person of Honorable Audi Shukulu. When you look at personality, you can use it to assess. He's a man that is courageous. Beyond being courageous, he is a friend to the widow, a friend to the orphan. He's a man out of his pocket without being in government corridor. He has done a lot of things. He has graded roads. He has done facelifts in different schools from his pocket. Are you getting the point? So you can imagine such a man mounting the saddle of leadership as the next chairman, Buhari Area Council. That personality is something that will have a ripple effect. The grassroots are aware of this quality I'm talking about. That's my point. So coming in to become the next chairman of Buhari Area Council is like amplifying it, making it easy for this delivery to be done to the grassroots. And due to where with the grassroots, they are seeing these things, and it's more of continuous sensitization. I don't give up. I'm a comrade. I stand on the side of truth. And why do I stand on the side of truth? It's due to my covenant with my maker. So I have to tell myself truth. I owe myself that truth. And I'm also challenging everybody in this level of life. Owe yourself truth. That's my point. Stand for what is right. Don't give up. If we don't speak, these things will continue. And it becomes a norm. So somebody somewhere must speak up. And that is what we are doing already.
Thank you for your courage so far.
Let me tell you something about vanity. You just mentioned.
Tell us something about vanity when we return.
Okay,
I would like to hear that.
no problem. Thank you so
Watching
much.
issues reaching you from NTA Channel 5 Abuja. The program continues after this timeout. You're welcome back. The program is Issues, still on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, and we're discussing grassroots mobilization, preparations to the 2026 Area Council elections, and I'm all still with Comrade Chima, who has been doing incredibly well in terms of telling us plans that they have, especially at the grassroots level. Chima, before I go to our next question, you said something about vanity, and that interests you, so can we hear from you?
When you talk of vanity, I feel it's a relative term.
Okay.
Or you might call vanity, might not be vanity for other persons.
Okay.
Some of us, I value men who do things out of conviction. When you do things out of conviction, there's one thing that is silent about it, and that is actual what I call fulfillment. So some people will live their life out of their purpose. On earth, just the way all of us are, we are sent for a purpose. Just the way you go to the market, some people go there to buy peppers, some go there to buy rice. That is your purpose of going to the market. That is how we are on earth here. Most of us have our purpose. So when you live your purpose to the fullest and you die in the process, it's not a vanity to me. I feel you at some point, such a person have lived his life and have lived his purpose. Yeah. You understand my point? So, thank you.
Okay. So now, what steps are you taking to ensure that campaigns and then elections are peaceful, even though I know campaigns have not started yet, but eventually when it starts, what plans do you have in place to make sure that it's done peacefully?
So the plan we have in place, we are also visiting, especially the security agencies. If you follow up what happened around June when the APC had their primary election, you see a clear case of interference of especially the police. I will not use the police in question, the DP of the division that interfered into the political process completely. It happened, and we have evidence to this. And as a group too, we have filed a petition to the Police Service Commission over that misconduct of that officer. So we are banking on the security agencies, ranging from the Nigerian police, the civil defense, and the DSS to be neutral. Because once you are neutral, an election is conducted in a free and fair atmosphere, the loser have no reason to actually fight. Even though you have reason to fight, you are not coming from a moral ground. Even you too will know that you have lost the election. So, but the critical thing that makes election peaceful is the neutrality of our security agency. I've studied over time. So most of them want to intervene, maybe because they have collected money from one person or the other. What we are advocating, and we are still advocating, let there be a level playing ground. Whoever wins should win. If you feel you are too popular, go back to the grassroots, do the mobilization, just the way we are doing, reaching out to everybody at the pyramids, reaching out everybody. It's not only the grassroots, even those at the elite. We are crisscrossing, discussing, trying to tell them the need why Honorable Shekolu should be given a chance. So we want a level playing ground. That's my point. So what we are doing exactly is, and today, thank God, the media is here. We are using you people who are at the same time to actually preach this message. Security agents, please don't interfere in the election process. You took an oath, ethical oath. You have your XOP, standard operating procedures. Stick to them. Don't come and forget about your ethical commitment and you interfere in political matters because you have collected money from one political party or the other. No, that gives room for political violence.
So now you have spoken about the need for elections to be conducted free and fair, and of course security agencies to do the needful, to be neutral in that process. So now, for instance, how is your group prepared to accept the outcome of the elections, be it positive or negative?
Okay, now before I go to this, there's something I'm saying before you interjected. And so I wanted to, after the security agents, the other thing I discovered that actually make elections not to be peaceful is one singular fact of the desperation of politicians. You know, when they are desperate, they can go to any length to influence. That is when beyond the security, they bring in talks. Yeah, that's my point. So, but even though they bring in talks and the security are up to their task, certainly they can actually quench or nip it from the onset. So that is that can actually cause the, what's it called? So once beyond them interfering, they should also be up to task. They should also be available and at the same time not be a tool in the hand of the politicians. So going further now, your last question.
Yes.
So my
How do
point.
you intend to know the outcome of the election, be it positive or negative?
You know, our word we actually be in consonant with the words of Abraham Lincoln. He said, I'm not bound to win or to lose, but I'm bound to be true to who I am. I think how we borrow from that quote. You understand my point? It's not a do or die affair. It's something that we are great sportsmen. So when we lose, thank God you can see the level of our mentality. It's not the mentality that it must be so. The only way you see us resisting the status quo is when we see that abnormally wants to be the order of the day. Some of us will speak because as advocates we have this revolutionary minds. We don't just accept things just the way they come. Do it normally. I guarantee you we will accept the fates and we work wherever wins. And the same thing should be applicable to the other opponents. Nobody should do it free, do or die affair. All of us are family. Whether we like it or not, we'll still remain in the Buhari. We'll see ourselves on the street. We'll meet ourselves in the garden. So why should we fight? Why should we kill ourselves?
I think that's a spirit of sportsmanship. That's wonderful. So that at the end of the day, there will be no chaos as a result of probably the outcome of the election. So beyond elections, how will you ensure parties, elected leaders deliver to the grassroots? You being a grassroots mobilizer.
As I said earlier on, the core aim of New Buhari Frontier is centered on governance delivery to the grassroots. So we advocate for that. And as we speak, we must hold our leaders accountable. We can actually be advocating for good governance and peradventure we are there tomorrow and we slack.
Okay, now beyond the elections, how will you ensure that parties, elected leaders, stick to their words, by of course providing dividends of democracy to the people, you being a grassroots mobilizer?
Well, I want to borrow from the words of Abraham Lincoln. In his word, he said, I'm not born to win or to lose, but I'm born to be true to who I am. And at the same time, who are we? We are people who are committed to good governance delivery. And if peradventure our party lose, we are committed to whoever that will take the saddle of leadership to make sure that there's good governance delivery to this same grassroots. It's not a do or die affair. It's not something that we are desperate about, but it's something that we desperately want to change, not that we are desperately in the negative part of it, because we can't continue like this.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Chima, for sharing your thoughts with us and of course for telling us your plans and missions and of course mandates that you stand for. And from all indication, grassroots mobilization is key in any electioneering process because, like you said, the pyramid at the end, yes, and because they have the power, they should use it right, and of course they should be compensated. Okay, before we round up this session, what final words or thoughts do you have to share with the people of FCT?
I want to actually tell the people of the FCT to actually participate in this election, but most importantly, the Buhari residents, they should come out in mass and support Honorable Haruna Al-Dishokolo. We are not seeing it from the place of political sentiment or inclination. I'm seeing it from the place of conviction that he has the capacity to deliver as the next chairman of Buhari Area Council. devoid of any sentiment. We have done our analysis, we have done our research, we did our background check. He is the only competent candidate as I speak to you that can deliver. All other candidates we have done, they are just puppets by proxy. But we are calling our residents to rally around him so that we'll have a new wave of, how will I put it, a new wave of governance.
We wish you luck and we wish you all the best in this endeavor. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
To you, our dear viewer, this is the most we can take on today's edition of Issues on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. As election preparations continues, we will always bring you episodes, preparations to this very important day coming up in February 2026. Until we come your way with another episode, on behalf of the entire production crew, good evening.
Nigeria at 65, a continental giant takes another step forward, navigating the contradiction fueled by a colorful and resourcefully diverse populace, yet questions linger on the destination of state, propelled by the vagaries of nationhood. What is your contribution to this journey? Join the NTA and an eclectic mix of everything Nigerian, from the academic deans to the street kings, who will lend their voices on the platform that has always been a part of the journey. The NTA on October 1st, 2025.